Hello and welcome to Every Day is Earth Day, the podcast. I'm your host, Fiona Dempster, and today I'm curious, do you ever get yourself stuck with trying to figure it out? Like, I've got to figure this out. You have to, to the nth degree, know the plan, where the money's coming from, if money is your concern, and who doesn't have money on the brain these days? Everything seems to be about money. What if you actually didn't have to figure anything out? Because how much does figuring out actually create more and create ease in your life? Have you ever had one of those days where you simply get up and you're in the flow and you know where to go next? You're following the energy where it's like, oh yeah, this, and then this, and then this, and oh, we're going to go here, and I can get this, this, and this done when I'm there. And it's not always linear, and it's never linear, and it's never cognitive. And you have so much ease, and you breathe through it, and then you look up and you realize, oh my gosh, it's only been 2 hours since I started my day or I started this project. How cool is that? And then when do you have that crazy full stop? Oh my gosh, my feet are in cement, not moving forward, nothing's going with ease, and you're stuck and you find yourself trying to figure it out. Well, go figure, right? It's not working because you're not receiving. Like, how much do you cut off of receiving when you're trying to figure things out? Because really what you're attempting to do when you're figuring things out is you're trying to conclude what's right and what's wrong, or what's going to work. Or you've looked at the past and you went, but this worked before, it should work again. It doesn't always work out that way. Most of the time it doesn't work that way. So how do you get out of your figuring out way? If you didn't have to figure anything out, what would be required? Well, tap into the energy of those times when you were just flying high and strutting your stuff and choosing and choosing and choosing and choosing again. And, if that is challenging, take a moment and go back through all of this life and look at all the times when you were being that energy, when you were just up and at 'em. And who does the figuring out belong to? Is that your way of functioning, or is that someone else's conclusion of what is required, right? Like, you got to figure this out. You got to figure out your life. You got to have a plan. And what if actually all you really require is knowing the direction you'd like to go? Yeah, you get to know the direction you'd like to go, and then you get to start asking questions. Questions of curiosity and wonder, like, wow, I wonder who could show up to help me with this project. I wonder what it would take for so-and-so to take my kid for the weekend. Or I wonder where my kid would like to go for the weekend. Or, where would I like to go for the weekend if you don't have kids? I don't have kids, so that doesn't apply. However, I guess I'm pretty tapped into all the parents that, freak out over, oh my gosh, what do I have to figure out for my kid? So, and maybe sometimes it's joyful and sometimes it may be just a challenge. So, yeah, something to look at. What else is possible when you're stuck in the muck of trying to figure things out? I always like to start with a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe that 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times. When I'm aware that I'm stuck trying to figure things out, and if I wasn't figuring things out, what could be available? What would show up? Right? Recently, I was acknowledging how the universe has my back, and I just get to keep asking. I don't have to figure these things out. And when something's not working, I get to ask more questions and have more curiosity and stay in the wonder and stay in the question and turn that up. Yeah. Because last year I chose some random activity. Like I received an ad for some remote, you know, training or healing. And I was curious and it just kind of lit me up. I was like, oh, okay, I'll give this a try. Did a session, it contributed. I stayed on the mailing list. I didn't get rid of any of those things. And thankfully, this group doesn't actually advertise. They don't push, they don't prod. It's there if you want it. And then I was invited this year, the very rare invitation from this group saying that this speaker was going to be on another summit, on this free 10-week summit for women over 40. And it was really quite magic because today I was just acknowledging that, wow, by choosing that and staying on that, I got invited to this. And then all these other things showed up that I've been asking for my health. And wow, okay, universe, thank you. You have my back. And I didn't have to figure it out. I just got to choose. I just got to ask and choose when things showed up that had that sense of what I was asking for, right? As I mentioned earlier, if all you're required to do is know which direction you'd like to head and then ask for contribution from the universe, like, hey, universe, what would it take for this to show up? What would it take for this to be ease? Well, like, show me where to go. And continually know where you're headed and the energy of what you'd like to create. And then the figuring out is the universe's job, not yours. Yours is to ask and then receive when it shows up. And please know that it never shows up the way you think it's going to. If you have any conclusion of how you'd like it to show up, it's not going to show up that way. And it might actually show up the way you were sensing it would, and it could even show up greater, or it could be completely different. Sometimes the things that show up might actually look like a disaster or like a problem. And if you actually sat with it and looked at the energy and received the energy, you might find that, oh my gosh, this is actually the change or the choice or the direction I've been asking for. This is the support that I've been asking for. Oh my gosh, it came in this package. It came with this ribbon, came with this bow, came with this wrapping paper, came in this person, came in this person going away, came with the job going away. Oh my gosh, how does it get even better? Yeah, I know. Really cool. If you don't have to figure things out, how much more could show up quicker, easier, and faster? That's my curiosity today. And I invite you to play with that because every day is Earth Day. Catch you another day.